Hi, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Ross.
This week we're talking about how we can take a holistic approach in meeting people's needs. So last week we talked about Jesus' ministry and how he ministered to the whole person. And today we want to talk a little bit about how we can sort of follow his example and also minister in a holistic way,
Right.
both in general and also specifically here in Evansville.
Yeah, I mean, generally, I just think about what do people need? You know, we're relational beings. Those relationships are incredibly important. We're also designed to work. And, we learned that that's something really core to who a person is the work they get to do. Physical needs, health. So you got mental, you have, your mental health, your
Emotional well-being.
Your emotional well-being. There's all these different things that make up our person, and those are all needs that we can try to meet. And when we do meet those needs, we're participating in exactly what Jesus would want us to participate in. What are some of the specific needs you've noticed about what's going on in our community?
Yeah, I think one that we've spent a lot of time thinking about in the different circles that we're a part of is foster care. We're in the middle of a foster care crisis in Evansville where there are almost 1,000 kids who have had to be removed from their homes, which obviously there's a lot of needs there too that have led to that.
Right.
A lot of addiction and substance abuse that people are wrestling with.
Yeah. One number that always sticks out to me when I've studied this stuff is that 33% of people in our area say they've been binge drinking in the last month.
Right.
And the national percentage is 18%.
Yeah.
And so it's important.
That's like more than double.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. And, it's not necessarily an alcohol problem. It's an alcohol solution to a deeper problem.
What's the problem that's led somebody to binge drink?
Yeah, and maybe it's depression, maybe it's joblessness, maybe it's just being in a position where you can't really afford to provide for your family.
Yeah.
And so there's those kinds of needs where people just need extra help finding a good job or getting qualified to be in a job that can pay well.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about this idea of whole person is not all of us feel qualified to minister to the spiritual needs of a person.
Yep.
But we all have some sort of need that we can help meet. You know, if you have some sort of business savvy or the ability to provide people with work, that's a super useful skill for meeting the needs of people. If you feel like you don't have any skills at all to offer anybody, you still have the ability to offer them friendship. That goes a lot further than we think that it does.
You're offering your social capital in that sense. Yeah,
and if somebody just has somebody that they can call who's going to listen, that goes a long way in meeting some of those like deep emotional things. You might not be a counselor or be qualified to talk them through some of their issues, but you can certainly listen and be there for them, and that's incredibly valuable.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to remember that is the mission that Jesus has put us on, and he wants us to care about the whole person. And that can just get lost really easily, I think, in our day-to-day lives and in our regular kind of church experience of Sunday morning and hearing about, global missions and church planning and all of these things that are really important and awesome and definitely things we need to do.
Right.
But don't forget that we're also caring for individual needs holistically, the whole person, and that is just as important to Jesus.
Yeah, and often those things, they have this excitement behind them. They're really grand, things that you can get passionate and excited about. But oftentimes caring for the whole person happens in the most mundane activities of our life.
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting to know that we can participate in God's mission of restoring people in these very simple, very accessible ways all the time, every day.
That's right.